You said that we don't consume much bottled water. Is
Correct.
because our tap water is more high quality than
That,
around the world?
that is the perception that most Kiwis have. That's correct, and also there's a sense that it's our birthright, right? Like water should be ours. It should be. Most of our water comes here, by the way, from the Waikato River. The tragedy, though, is, and we've just seen a recent report that came out last month confirming that 500,000 New Zealanders don't have access to safe, clean drinking water. Mostly in rural New Zealand, by the way. That's pretty sad. But worse than that, the condition and predicted condition of the water reservoirs we have in New Zealand is quite dire. And so we see water as being a huge issue. And as a result of that and other factors, Zenith International and some other respected water researchers are saying that the bottled water market in New Zealand will double between now and 2013 to about 120 million litres of packaged bottled water per annum, of which 80% will be small pack. So, water's not going away. And you see all these other innovations like near waters and people trying to do similar things like with nutrient waters, sports waters. All those things, by the way, are fizzy drinks, okay? They're just fizzy drinks without the carbonation. Look at the sugar, you'll see it's like 20, 30, 40 grams of sugar on these so-called near waters, sports waters, nutrition waters, vitamin waters. They're made for the tongue, not the body. Just be an educated consumer, read the label, and just look at the sugar level and you'll know, right? Artificial colouring, flavouring, additives, and filtered tap water. So water's the one, right? Water is the ultimate thing for your body. The other thing about water that we particularly like, of course, is that 100% of the marketplace is a potential customer. Right? The trends, by the way, and the research tells us that people buy bottled water for simple hydration on the go, the convenience factor. Everyone acknowledges water's available for free, but they like the convenience of taking a bottle to the beach, the park, for a run, to the gym, in the car. That's why they buy it. But the media and the bad press that water's been getting lately has actually been a catalyst that's kind of worked in our favour, this project anyway. And you may have seen some of it where people are starting to say, what is the real cost of that bottled water? Now we're consuming it, and now that people are starting to ask the hard questions about recycling, what's happening to that packaging? People are starting to sense that they have to take responsibility for that packaging post-consumer. They're asking these hard questions, and we're seeing all sorts of things. Did anyone see that documentary on the Sunday program, Sunday night, funnily enough, TV1 about 3 weeks ago? Brilliant documentary. It was called Message in a Bottle. 20 minutes. It's actually probably still online at that address there if you wanted to record that address. Go and have a look at it. It's really, really interesting. And there's a really cool interview with the Director of Public Relations at Vizzy Recycling, that I find particularly humorous. Up and Down, Sunday magazine. Speaking of Sunday, this was indicative of how people's thoughts were. Look, plastic water bottles, an ever-growing tide of waste. This is one of the most respected barometers of public opinion. Highly read, quarter million Kiwis read it. On the positive side, guys, brown shoes are coming back, so get them out, polish them off. Right? So some good news. Anyway, back to the Good Water Project. So this was all these things are happening, right? These are the issues. People are wanting the truth. They want transparency. They want to know what's going on. It was the catalyst for the Good Water Project. And it was interesting that at the time that we had this revelation, right, about 4 years ago, we were working with the Sir Peter Blake Trust, and we always supplied their youth environment forums and just sponsored a few of the events that they did. Love the inspirational story of Sir Peter Blake. And they had this research that came out and said that about half the crap that comes on our beaches was plastic bottles. And they also had some research showing that the impact of plastic in the marine environment. They had albatross chicks that had died of starvation because their gut was full of plastic. And so they had the feeling of being full and they couldn't consume food, and they just literally starved to death. And it was just tragic stories like that there. And so working with them on that and discussing what are the options, what choices do we have, really. Because we can't take away the fact that people want to consume healthy beverages and they need that beverage on the go. So we did some research and discovered that you could make an alternative to traditional plastic out of plants. And the thing we love about plants, of course, is it's a sustainable, renewable resource, right? But better than that, it has the added advantage of actually being biodegradable. So it will break down to natural elements. So that sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty simple. I think we're a little bit naive in hindsight, thinking how easy it might be to do this. We decided, let's do a bottle and make it from sustainable, renewable resources, so it's biodegradable. And then that was our first goal. And then have as a second goal, let's get that bottle recycled in New Zealand because no one else is doing it. And so that was the initial, original vision that we had. And we decided to do it together, right, with the Sir Peter Blake Trust. They had a lot of expertise. The guy we worked with there, Dr. Mark Orams, was a marine scientist. He was the chairman of the board, executive director of the board, and he sailed with Sir Peter Blake in the Amazon, just an incredible human being. Very, very inspirational. And off we went. And we thought it would take us about 6 months to do this. It took almost 2 years, cost 3 times what we originally budgeted, right? Just remember that if you were doing budgets. And it was really difficult because we set ourselves the most highest levels of accountability. We decided it had to be the very, very best that was possible on this planet. We made it particularly difficult design-wise because we wanted to do a square bottle. Like no one had ever done a biodegradable square water bottle anywhere in the world. This is a world first. Do you know why it's square?
Package is easy.
Correct. Well done, mate. The package is smaller, right? So you're not freighting out, basically. When you pack them into a fridge, you get better efficiencies per square metre number of bottles, right? So it's very, and the cartons are slightly smaller, so it's very space efficient. It's the most efficient size, right? But no one had ever done it, and it's really difficult working with this material. But thanks to some really committed Kiwi entrepreneurs and technical people, we've done it. So we made this bottle, and it's actually a fundraiser for the trust, right? Which is really, really cool too. So this is the corporate social responsibility. So we've got this loop where we're using this sustainability initiative as a leadership position, but also as a fundraiser to help teach young Kiwis about the environment. That's pretty cool.